Hello, welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic, and as you can see from the grid, we've got a Super Bowl themed puzzle today. Thank you, Scott Strosal, for sending that in. Rather to the amazement of some, I am quite a fan of the NFL. I mean, I can't tell you how little I know about college football, but I do follow the NFL to an extent, and the Super Bowl is quite harshly timed. It kicks off about 11:30 or 11:45 p.m. our time. So if you want to actually watch the meat of the thing, you have to stay up into the small hours. And if it goes to a late finish, that's 3 or 4 in the morning, which is quite tough to do with a working day following. So sometimes, I admit, I have given up on the game and gone to bed and found out what happened in the morning and then watched the highlights. But we'll see how that goes this year. I think it is a very interesting matchup, as Scott has delineated in his grid. KC, Kansas City, are taking on PH, Philadelphia. And the Chiefs and the Eagles are in their both ways, in their own two ways, almost unbeatable. I'm going to predict something for the game. It's very hard, though. It's very hard. I think the safe prediction is that the game will still be very much alive in the fourth quarter. I don't see either of these teams getting away from each other. And then you're talking about Mahomes and Kelsey against Hurts and Saquon Berkeley, I should say, probably. I see Philadelphia winning it. There we go. Kansas City not getting the three-peat, which is so difficult to do, but they are both unstoppable, so who knows? It's a very difficult one to call. Now, when is this going out? That's a question for me, not for you, because you know when it's going out. If I was to put it out the Sunday night, and there is another reason for a different video going out on the Sunday, then it would be in the last half hour before the kickoff. And I don't think, if you are interested in American football, you're probably watching the game at that point. So the only people watching the video when it comes out would be the people who aren't interested in the sport. I don't know. Anyway, probably Saturday. That's what I think. So we will see how it goes with the solve. I will do the rules in a moment. Don't forget, on Patreon, we've got Are You My Mama, the brilliant Sudoku hunt by the PBN Institute, featuring number sums puzzles. On our apps, we have Line Sudoku, heavily featured today, and Domino Sudoku, but also our latest Fog of War Sudoku. We've got our merchandise, we've got SVEN'S SUDOKU PAD. They're all on the links under the video, but the first link is to this puzzle. It is Super Bowl 59, LIX as depicted, and of course there is 59 in the grid. And we have the goalposts and KC and PH, and Scott has redesigned the crop key dots as footballs, white and black footballs. Now, there is a version of this that you can solve with the lines being green, which is their more natural colour, and with the crop key dots just being dots, and that is provided under the video as well. It's the second link. So, what are the rules? Normal Sudoku rules apply. That means we'll be putting 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Every line in the grid is a green German Whispers line. They're just disguised for the colourfulness of it all. And that means that adjacent digits along any line have a difference of at least 5. Those two might be 1 and 6. Those two might be 4 and 9. These two won't be 3 and 7. Now, digits separated by a white football or dot are consecutive. Digits separated by a black football or dot have a ratio of 1 to 2, so one's double the other. Not all dots are necessarily given. Those are the rules. It's really a very simple rule set. Give it a try on the link under the video. I am going to start now. Let's get cracking. So, the things we know about German whisper lines are: 1, 5 is very difficult to place on a German whisper line, i.e. you can't do it, because there's no possible neighbour. Therefore, the lines alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5 to maintain the differences, and 4 and 6 are actually difficult to place. You can put them on lines, but only in places where they don't have two neighbours that see each other. So all of these digits, I think, could not be 4 or 6. And that one, difficult to find. Oh, these and that one. And I'm not going to mark those as such. What I am going to do is colour the alternating cells on the goalposts. So one of these sets, green or purple, is high and the other one is low to maintain the alternation. And part of our job is to find which is which. Actually, when I was talking about 5, I did spot that this box, we may be able to put 5 in it straight away, because not only can 5 not appear on a line in this puzzle, it cannot appear on a black dot, a black football either, because 5 doesn't have a neighbour that could be in a 1:2 ratio. So actually that's 5 in box 9. Well, and then this must be 5, mustn't it, in box 8? And this is 5 in box 7. There is the easy start to this puzzle. That's 4 or 6 because of the white dot. On the black dot, we are looking at 2, 3, or 8 now. Have we? No, we haven't necessarily run out of room on 5s. There's a 5 in one of those two cells, and that must be the 5 in column 3. Then there's a 5 in one of those two in row 3. Maybe I have exhausted. No, I haven't. 5 in this row? Yeah, it's got to be here. There we go. So that's almost all the 5s. In fact, I haven't finished yet. 5 is there in box 2, box 5, and we've got all the 5s. Oh, well, that is easier start than normal. Again, with the white dot and then the black dot, I can do 4, 6, and then 2, 3, 8, just like down there. Now, where does that leave me on the colouring? I haven't really achieved anything on the colouring. I'll tell you what, with the white dot here, this one is going to be green as well. It can't be a 5 by Sudoku, and if that is, say, low, then this can't be high, because they would have to have a 5 between them, as it were. Now, I don't know, that's probably not going to do a lot. This cell, it's on a black dot with green, but as we've sort of seen, it could be a different polarity, or it could be the same. If that was a 1-2 or a 2-4 pair, this would be green. If it's a 3-6 or a 4-8 pair, this is purple. Oh, these two, however, have to be different polarities because of their position on this line. So if I was to come up with some different colours for this line, reds and yellows, and I want to try and relate them to greens and purples, and then I want to try and relate all of them to highs and lows, but we're not there yet. However, what we do see is that red and yellow, two different polarities, one high and one low, are joined by a black football. So one is low and one is high. That is either a 3-6 or a 4-8 pair. And that may not actually be very helpful. This cell looks at first like it has to be an extreme digit because it sees 4 of the other quality, the other type of, you know, the polarity of digit. But actually, those two could be the same as those two. Okay, I'm going to unwind the colouring there because I want to use red and yellow over the other side. I think there's something going on with the P and the H. Let me just... The H... Yeah, okay, I'm going to colour the P. Let's make those red and those two yellow. Now, it's the same sort of thing as on the other side, but I know what this colour is. Because this H, or maybe rugby posts if we switch sports, but this H has got 3 of one polarity and 3 of the other. And that means that in this box, let's assume those, let's call those 3 red and 3 yellow. This one is the 4th yellow in the box, and it's different from that. So again, we have one of these polarity swap black dots. That is 3, 4, 6, and 8 as well. Now there's something more going on in this row. Yeah, I'll tell you what, we're in business on this row. Oh, that's really weird. Okay, green is there. That is a contrasting pair we've just worked out. That is a contrasting pair because they're joined together by a line. This pair, let's look at this one, a new colour scheme, grey and light blue. This pair have to be the same because they're both different in polarity from that. Now, can they be green? And the answer is no. If they were green, there would be 2 green in this row, a 3rd one there. One of those 2 would be green and one of those 2 would be green. That's 5 greens, and we're only allowed 4 in every row, column and box. So these light blues become purple. They can't be green. That grey becomes green because it is. And now, I was wondering about this row. Yeah, there's something to be deduced. These 2 are different because of the line connecting them. These 2 are different. That's 2 of each. Then for the rest of the line, we're going to have 2 purples and 2 greens. So that is green. Still don't know whether green is high or low. I dare say we will come to that at some point. But more importantly, perhaps, I don't know whether red or yellow is green or purple. I do know in this column, we've got 2 of each there, and then 2 yellows and a red. That must be red at the top. That's a bit weird. This is the same as, right, this is like that joining up there. On a white dot, you have to have either 2 of the same colours or 5 and 1 colour, and we can't have a 5 there. So that's red. Now we can colour the whole goalposts red and yellow. I don't think that's going to tell me much more about the rows. Oh, hang on, this one is green now. 2 and 2. I probably could have done that before. And therefore it's different from this. So that's not a 2. And now we have a 3, 4, 6, 8 quad in the row. I feel like there must be some way of working out what C and P are relative to green and purple, but I'm not achieving it. Or box 5, but I don't know, this is too variable for me at the moment. Anyway, maybe that 3, 4, 6, 8 thing is helpful. Everything else in the row is 1, 2, 7, or 9. Now, these cells, I don't think they can be 7. If you put 7 in this cell, what would these 3 be? They'd have to be 1, 2, and impossible. So 7, the same is true for that. It has 3 neighbours, so 7 won't work. Now, does 7 work here? That's an interesting question. If this was 7, that would be a 1, 2 pair. Oh, I haven't filled in this as a, I mean, I suppose anything from 2, 3, 4, 6, or 8, given this. But it can't be 4 or 6 in this position because it has 2 neighbours that see each other. So actually that's a bit more constrained. Now, look, this doesn't work. Right, if this was 7, that would be a 1, 2 pair. This would be 8 being high, and this would have to be low, and it would see 1 and 2, so it would have to be a 3. But that's impossible, because this is a position where it's got 3 neighbours. If that was a 3 and that was an 8, you couldn't put 8 and 9 in those cells. So this is not a 7. Now I've got a 1, 2, 9 triple in row, what's it, row 8. And that is a 7. And now we know that purple is high. So I'm going to change all the purple in the puzzle to orange, which is my preferred colour for high. All the green becomes blue, which is low. Now I can fill in some numbers. I think this is right. I don't think I've made a mistake. No doubt we will see if I have. This is low and that's low. So we don't know about red and yellow yet, sadly. This one is 1 or 2 because it's touching a 7. This pair do not involve 6 because the number that they're sandwiching is either a 2 or a 3. What else have we got? This is, I don't know, it could be a 3 even. 1, 2, 3, 8 or 9 is not a very conducive set to write in. Oh, this is a 3, 6 pair now. That's very obvious, sorry. Right, well that's better. If that's a 3, this is 8 or 9. If it's a 6, that's 1 on the line. I don't know after that. Oh, it's not a 9 by Sudoku. So that is 1 or 8. If it was an 8, that was a 3. That would be 1 or 2. That's not possible. Right, there has to be at least one low digit in that pair. Therefore, they're not both low. This isn't a 2. One of these is low and one is high. Red is going to have to be high in the central box because we've got all 4 blues effectively. And just to re-emphasize, that was because one of these must be blue. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So we've got all the colouring on all the lines apart from this one done. Now, where does that leave us? It means we can fill in these numbers. That's a 1, that's a 3, that's a 6, this is low, that's high and is a 9. This one, I don't know, 6, 7 or 8. This one's 7 or 8. Oh, that's become a 2. That makes this a 1. The whole of row 8 is done. That's now a 3 and must be surrounded by 8, 9 on its line. That's become a 6 on the football. That's a 3 on the football. We now know the colours of C. And all the line colours are done. 6 must be next to 1. 3 must be next to 8 or 9. That's going to have to be a 9. 1 is looking at that. That's a 2. 8 there. This is going to have to be, we've got 4, 6, 7 left. So the pair is a 6, 7 pair. That's a 4. This is 8 and 2 down here. We know the order from the colouring. This is 7 or 9 in a 4, 7, 9 triple. And this is a 1, 3, 6 triple with no markings. Right, let's look at this row. These are from 7, 8, 9. And then we've got 2 and 4 on the black dot. If I was to put 4 there, it couldn't connect with that cell. So I'm putting 2 there. That needs a 7 to connect with. On the other side, I don't know. So let's move up the goalpost, see if we can get a doink near the top. 2, 7, 3, 5. So we've got a 6 to place in the column. That cannot go there because that can't be a 1. It can't go there because the 2 neighbours see each other. It must go there. Then this is an 8, 9 pair. And everything else is a 1, 4 pair. We can't put 4 there because we can't surround it with 2 9s. So there we go. That's gone nicely. 3 there has made this 8 and 4. Might as well colour them. 8 makes this a 9 in the middle and this a 7, and that fixes 9 and 8. And we are rocking now. We're well into the 4th quarter here. That's become an 8. This is a 2, 1 pair, we know the order. 5, 1, 9, 2, 8. We need a 4 in row 5. This is high. I can't put 6 because I couldn't make that 1. So I'm going to have to do it this way around. Okay, I am now going to get rid of the colouring because I am once I've written in an 8 there and a 3 there, because now we've basically used all of the colouring we need. That's become a 9. Okay, I think I'm just doing Sudoku now. 9, 7. Well, no, not quite. I've got 1 white dot left. 3 and 6 there. 2 and 7 up here. 1, 3, 8 triple in the final column. Is it really all going to hinge on this, how we do the rest? I better do it then. If that was a 6, it's impossible because that can't be 5 or 7. So that's a 3 and this must be 4. And that can't be 3 and that can't be 6. 9 in the top row is there. And that's 1 or 6. So I've got this white dot. I hadn't really noticed that. That's a 2. 7 there. This is a naked single 1. It sees 3, 2, 5, 9, 4, 7 in the row, 6, 8 in the column. And now we are just closing out the game, taking a knee to end to run the clock down, basically. That's 7, 3, and that is going to be 1 or 6, but that's a 1. And that's 3 in the corner, having a full Super Bowl party at halftime. 7, 4, 9, and hopefully I've done this right, and I've got 1, 4, 8 left over. 4, 1, 8. And congratulations to the winners. I'm self-counted 2, which I think means Scott has tested this and then only sent it to us, which is great. And I hope you enjoyed the puzzle. It's good fun. I hope you enjoy the game as well if you're interested in Gridiron. And I hope I enjoy it too. We will see you again for more Sudoku tomorrow with less sport involved. And bye for now.